the story of that I'm supposed to tell for the first minute and a half of this. So, once upon a time, there was a little girl, and she had like this red coat with a hood on it, and she was pretty bad about sneaking off and going through the woods and stuff. And there was a wolf, and I think the wolf killed and ate her grandmother. Not sure what that has to do with the girl sneaking off all the time. Yeah, grandmother got eaten, and hey Riley, and then the wolf got in trouble for it, and it got killed, and then maybe they ate the wolf too, or something. And anyway, the little girls run off with somebody's basket full of stuff, something like that. I think that's how the story goes. I'm not real sure. Hey, Vanessa, Aaron, Chipper, Ben, Ted, Ben, C103, and Carol, and Fly. We ever heard that song, Brush Away the Blue Tail, with the phrase, brush away the blue tail fly? I dropped a cigarette lighter on mine. Aid, what's up? Mrs. Wes is in the house. Okay, I'll have to stop telling off-color stories about truant young ladies in red jackets and stuff killing innocent dogs. Switch over to something neater. How's everybody's weather and health and happiness? This is a wellness check. How is everybody doing this Saturday evening? I hope we find each other in good spirits and open to a world of possibilities and love for one another and optimism for our world and for our country and for our fellow man and stuff. Hey, Walter. Wait, let me say something. Yeah, what Bent said. Hope everyone is having a great day. Unless you're a communist. And then I hope nothing's going your way. Uh-oh. Today is beautiful, clear, and yeah, today was a great day here. The weather was great. No wind. Very pleasant temperatures. Plenty of sunshine. Excellent food. Had steak for lunch. Hey, Anna Lee Brown. Your fall. What did you... Did I miss something, Carol? You probably said something last night and I didn't catch it. Catch me up on your fall. Yeah, that's the way it is at Oregon, Aaron. The way my sister lives up there. And you get clouds, rain, sun, clouds, rain, sun. And the temperature varies. She says it doesn't really get cold where she's at, though. We have... No, I am not camping anymore. I would hope that I didn't get to take my crappy computer with me. I carried enough weight. Still recuperating from my camping trip. Can't believe I'm fixing to go do this for 5 weeks. So these may be the last couple of months y'all get to hang out with me. It just may very well be fixing to overdo it. That's what the title of the thing's about. This whole, people bugging out to the woods and stuff. It's not going to work, folks. It might have worked before say like 1910 or 1910. It might have worked before then. But I don't think it'll work now. Let me put it this way. It would have worked before all the buffalo were gone. But there's not enough critters. There's too many lean times. There has to be plenty in times of plenty for you to store enough to get through the hard times. I mean, everybody's always talks about the Indians and everything and how they lived at one with they lived at one with the spirit of the earth and they never wasted and this and there was a lot of them starved to death too before white showed up. It was, and that's why the introduction of the horse was such a big thing to them. That's why the introduction of steel was such a big thing for them. That's why the introduction of cloth was such a big thing for them. A coat made out of deer skin will not keep you warm. You'll freeze to death in an unlined leather jacket in the wintertime. There's no insulative factor. But you can take a leather jacket with cotton lining and make it hot pretty good. People need to quit buying into all this fairy tale crap. What did Bent say? That was funny. Hey, T-Boy. It's not count. That's funny. And if you've ever picked up a buffalo hide, you might use it for a blanket, but you really didn't want to run around one of those as a coat. Imagine throwing your coat on and it weighs 50 pounds. Now the bears was okay, and like the sealskins were okay, and that's the other thing. You don't wear the fur out; you wear the fur in. So, yeah, sheepskin. But again, for the sheepskin to work, it has to be the wool in. And then the leather's actually oiled. There's, it's not bugging out and hitting hills with your backpack full of gear and your 2,000 rounds of ammunition, which you ain't gonna carry into the woods. Or even having if you've got a camp up in the mountains somewhere and you've got 6 months worth of food or a year's worth of food, 10,000 round ammunition, and nobody, not even your cousin Buck, your wife, who just might divorce you, or just you're the only one that knows about it, and it's not somewhere where some wildfire is going to go through and burn it to the ground. You might be okay. But it's not, you're going to be living off the land. You can survive. The skills, survival skills and stuff that I like try to do and stuff and try to teach aren't to so you can live out there indefinitely. It's so you can make it from point A to point B to from no help to help. It's just people used to starve to death doing this, and that's how they were raised. They didn't hit 14 or 15 and decide to learn how to do all this stuff and then take out. We got people that make their living teaching people how to do this. They have schools. And people come and pay them several $100s to learn how to rub two sticks together and stuff. And they're getting dropped off in a place that's slap full of mooses and muskoxes and bears and wolves and deers and salmon and just food everywhere. And they're all starving. Hell, they got to give them $1 million, offer them $1 million not to tap out. I'm not saying that you don't need a good bug out bag, because if you have a place, if you have a place to go, but say there's civil unrest, you don't really want to drive to spend all day driving and then check into a motel and be consumed by riots when you wake up. You would want to be able to, pull off into, some logging road or fire break somewhere and, sleep rough before continuing on. You wouldn't try to escape one bad situation to drive into another potentially equally bad situation. I hate staying in a motel that's got more than one floor. I hate staying, and it really drives me nuts to stay in a motel that the doors aren't on the outside of your room. I want my door to open up to my vehicle, because I want to, if something's going on, I don't want to have to make stairs and hallways to get to my vehicle. I want out the door, slide through the bushes, get in, and drive off. I really don't need my overnight bag. I believe, yeah, Walter, would you give me his name and stuff? Because I'd really like to meet him. Yeah, the bag is in case you need to go from point A to point B. There's no such thing as being a refugee if you don't have a point B to get to. It's not going to end well for you if you have no place to go. And Could he do it any month of the year, Walter? I mean, Carolina probably. I don't know if they have a winter. Here, you don't eat. There's nothing to eat in the wintertime. There's rabbits. You could go days without seeing a deer, literally days. Now, that's without everybody hunting them all year long. I haven't seen a turkey in, well, around my property. I haven't seen a turkey in 4 years. And I don't shoot them. They're not from Mexico, but that's funny. And just because there's egg, I mean, come on. If we were all, what's the bass dude? If we were all him, yeah, it'd work out fine. Except for eventually we'd kill everything. There's only enough protein in one deer for 4 people for like a week or 2. I can't remember what it was. It was like nothing. You know, a man, his wife, and 2 kids would. I mean, they have to kill a deer every 2 weeks just not to starve to death. And then you're not getting anything but proteins. There's no fats on a deer. You literally, your body starts consuming all of its fat reserves and stuff. There's no, yeah. I mean, if you're smart, if you use the whole animal, which that's one thing the Native Americans did, they didn't roast the deer over the fire and then throw the bones in a pile to the dog. The dogs and stuff didn't get them bones until they'd already been boiled, because the available fat, well, the palatable available fat in deer is in the marrow and stuff, the marrow in the brain, and yeah, less humans back then. And there are parts of the world where it's doable. But the more people there are, the more resources that are going to be taken or whatever. The reason everybody, oh yeah, we see hundreds of deer in town. They're the same deer. They're just in somebody else's backyard each day. There's really, you need a bag. You need a get home bag. You need a get out of Dodge bag, a bug out bag. You need to have options for not being in the city if it's something really bad. If a scenario happens where it gets bad, you don't want to be in the city. You want a way out of the city. I don't think you have to be out in 24 minutes or you're going to die, but you need to be paying pretty close attention if you're living in the city. And that's the thing, Walter. Not everybody does that, and that's not something you put in a bag. That's something you put in your head. That's something you do by spending your weekends out in the bush, not at the ball game. That's something you do by learning and practicing and doing. And those wild edibles, if you switch from processed foods and stuff to wild edibles, you're going to wind up impacted or with diarrhea. And then you're in trouble. Well, the only thing that takes a deer out around here are vehicles. There's more deer killed in the surrounding 4 or 5 counties by vehicular strikes than by hunting. There's just there's like 10 dead deer on the 2 roads that I use regularly within 3 miles of my house. And it gets worse, if you go further out, if you go to where it's more rural. I'm not even all that rural. I'm technically, if I was living in a big town, I'd be considered close in. Yeah, and some of the stuff that, they're bushcrafting is fun, but the fur trappers and stuff, they were eating the carcasses off of the animals they were killing. That's right. They ate a lot of beaver. They ate a lot of muskrat. They ate raccoon. They ate fox. They ate mink. Whatever was dead was the meal of the day. And they didn't. Everybody. We had this ideal that the mountain men, trappers, and stuff like that. These guys were going out in 1s and 2s, like Jeremiah Johnson and all. That's not the way it worked. One like body kits trap or whatever for beaver was insanely heavy. I don't know what they like 4 pounds. And you're not going to go out and run 10 miles of trap line with nothing. Even if you get the little wire traps or whatever, they're little head grab or foot grab traps or whatever. They're nearly a pound each. You got to have 20 of them, so it's 20 pounds. You're looking at packing a couple $100 worth of traps, and then you've got to have a couple $100 worth of gear just to stay alive, and you've got to have powder and ball and it's Jeremiah Johnson is my favorite movie, but it's not exactly the way it really went down. I've read the true story of Jeremiah liberating Johnson, and he wasn't that far up in the mountains. He actually spent quite a lot of time drinking with people, and he retired a dry goods mogul. And the Indians didn't come looking for him. He went looking for them because he was pissed at them. So, later, Ben. If you cut around the bruised stuff and they don't get, if you get to them quick, you can eat roadkill. A lot of people say don't eat roadkill. Roadkill, if they don't get, you can eat most roadkill. It's against the law here because people were literally putting wraparound brush guards on the front of their truck and just running the deer over. They were leaving the road to take out the deer. Man, it was roadkill. And all they got to do is show the blood and the fur on the front of their truck, and boom, they could run over a deer every 2 or 3 weeks. They could constantly be eating venison. So you're not allowed to collect roadkill anymore. See, animals literally lay there and rot. Rabbits have more calories in it than people utilize. Same thing, the rabbits, and I've seen the people. They all make the same mistake. They throw the bones in the pot to make the soup without breaking them. And a lot of the oils and fats from the marrow get trapped in the bone. If you'll break the critter's legs and arms and literally, you don't throw the head away, that goes in the pot too. And then you can increase the fat content out of your rabbits and make them better for you. The key to getting the most out of high protein foods is to eat a lot of the meat and drink plenty of water and then lay down. Sleep. Don't do anything else. You eat your protein at night. Let your body do because it takes a lot of calories to process protein. So if you're not expending any other calories while you're digesting the food, you can get ahead a little bit. Now, if you're not adding any carbs or fats to it, you're not going to get ahead. So you need carbs and fats. That's why the learning what seeds you can eat and what ones you can't. Learning what roots are available. Starches. You need to know where you can get starches. Wild onions and garlics. I mean, those things are full of sugars. And yeah, you can graze all day on fruits and stuff like that. But if you can also consume, like when you cook your rabbit at night and you eat the rabbit, if you've got a handful or 2 handfuls of mulberries or blackberries or whatever to eat with, then your body has that instant energy from the sugars to help digest the proteins. And your body can store energy during the night while you sleep. There's a reason the harsher the climate, the more naps. Armadillos got plenty of fat in it, but armadillos they same thing pigs do. That's why they get fat. They'll eat anything. They eat vegetables, animals. They'll dig up roots. They'll dig up bugs. Maybe so, Anna. Yeah, but you have to get the cattails at the right time. Cattails, the tubers are good, and then the tubers aren't. Yep. Buffalo gourd. You can't eat them things. Everybody says you can eat them. You can't eat those because they're disgusting. You can eat the seeds, but that's a wintertime meal, and then the seeds don't last forever. And then you still have to get past this. Like, I mean, you're eating soap. If you don't have enough water to rinse the soap off the outside of the seeds, you're just not going to get it done. So, yeah, there's catch another one. Wow, I can't eat those. I mean, there's fats and oils and proteins in those seeds if you can get the tannins off of it. Sapopins, whatever. The soap. So, yeah. What carries salmonella? Salmonella lives in everything. That's why you boil stuff. Everybody freaks out. Oh, don't eat armadillos. You could get leprosy. You could get leprosy from shaking hands with somebody at church if they're a leper. 2% of the entire population of love you, son. 2% of behave, bud. 2% of the entire population of armadillos, nine-banded armadillo, are genetically capable of contracting and carrying leprosy. Of that 2% of the entire population of armadillos, 2% of them may have leprosy. Not do have, may have leprosy. Leprosy is a bacterial infection. If you wash your hands after processing the critter, cook the critter well, your chances of getting leprosy are less than 0. The diseases that you can get from eating or from messing with raccoons, same thing. You have to wash your hands. That's why it's important to know where wild soap is. That's, what are the roots that have sapopins in it? What can you dig up or tear off that turns into soap? How do you wash your hands? The Indians, that's one thing the Native Americans did. They washed all the time. They weren't dirty people. The Europeans were dirtier than the natives. Hey, Tron. I mean, everything. I mean, come on, rats can have the plague. Rats taste fine. Squirrels can carry the plague. They taste fine. Hell, rabbits can go rabid, but they taste fine. I mean, don't eat rabbits that are foaming at the mouth and trying to rip your face off. Hey, Timo. There's no what is it? What is it Tyson always said? Are you going to let fear and common sense get the better of you? There's common sense. Cook the food. there's fear. I can't touch that. I might get sick. I mean, if you were worried about being around something that carries diseases, you would never reproduce. You would not have children. Those are the sickliest, most disgusting little animals on the planet. Children are walking germs. The end. They're disgusting. We still have them and we still love them. The end. I mean, humans, the one animal that can't even poop when it's born without pooping all over itself. The one animal that can't poop without pooping on itself. Yeah, gross. Kids are nasty. Yeah, like the rabbit in my pathline. He probably had rabies and leprosy and something else. And he was probably a tweaker. All of a sudden, now Anna's going to go to bed because she's scared of rabbits. Either that or it's because nobody started talking about fruit roll-ups and socks. Not sure which one is it? Hey, Anna, just for the record, they have a whole bunch of stuff in the lost and found at the Boy Scout ranch, and there's a whole bunch of just one socks in there. Like there's no pairs of socks in there. I'm just saying, it's an issue. It's very sad. No, Anna's hungry. She hasn't actually eaten. She's going outside to stalk a raccoon. She's gonna go cut a tree limb off. Sit by the trash cans all night, chanting Indian songs and ready to smack a raccoon in the head. Yeah, rabbits are flipping expensive.
Yeah, seriously, I was looking a minute ago.
You talk about
earlier.
What the market will bear. That's crazy.
It's a fucking rabbit. I'm not paying that much money.
Yeah. I can see Anna now. Just waiting. Uh-oh. Oh. We're not. Yeah, we could get them cheaper, I guess, if we drove all the way to Tennessee to get them. No. Everything's expensive in Texas because down here there's a rule. If you're descendant from the Irish or from Germans, that's everybody in Texas probably, then your stuff is worth more. The end. You want $5,000 for a truck with a blown transmission and a cracked engine block. Oh, but I got a clear title. Shut up. All you'd have to do is fix that motor and transmission and have you a good truck. Yeah, known by every highway patrolman in the state as one easy to pull over for a DUI, probably. Yeah, the price of hogs went up because they killed all of them off. I think it was artificial inflation. I don't know, but that wouldn't make any sense. The math isn't there for that. It just doesn't. The price of pork is going sky high. Breeder cattle is way up, but you can't afford to sell the cattle right now. They're overgrazing down there. Well, they couldn't afford to sell last year's calves at the market. You know, the market was too low. So they've had to keep last year's calves, and they've got this year's calves coming, and it hasn't rained yet. So usually you pull the calves off when they're weanable, and you run them to auction and sell your calves, or you put them on separate pasture. And then Mama doesn't have to compete with her last year's whatever. She just runs around. It's, you know, that last year threw everything out of whack. I may just might be asking a question. Not a lot right now. I mean, I'm going to go down there and do. We have a work weekend coming up in West Texas. I've got a couple of camping videos coming up. Not really bushcraft. We didn't build anything. We just survived a horrid windstorm. If you've never slept in a hammock in 70-mile-per-hour wind, you have not lived. The end. I'll never do it again. Hello, Dior. Thanks, sir. Yeah, it's a good truck. That's all you got to do is replace it. Exactly. There's actually one in Wilson that I'd like to have, but there's nothing wrong with the truck. It'd make a good truck. I don't have a title for it, though. So I can do anything I want to with it except put it on the highway? Yay me. But I don't know if I could get a builder's title for it, because it's the truck I want, actually. Well, I want the extended cab. This is the single cab, but it's the 306, 5-speed manual transmission, long wheelbase, and he's only asking $1,300, but he doesn't have a title, so I could probably be a purple houseplant him down to about $8. I figure I could get it for $8 pretty easy. And then if it costs me a couple $100 to get a title, it's not too bad. But I have to go get coffee. I'll be right back. Y'all do not leave just because of my beautiful green blanket. This who is the individual that asked about the? Hold on, Kevin Little.
Is that the second just to get that going again?
Actually, it's pretty close. C103, but Anyway, Kevin, bushcrafting and stuff. I was in a room the other day, and people were talking about how silly it was to go out in the woods to learn how to make a chair. You people that think being able to build a bushcraft chair is a wasted skill, you have no idea what you're talking about. When you're looking at spending 2 weeks, 3 weeks out there with nothing to set on but a rock or a fallen down log, which is round on top, so there's no flat place to put your butt. You can't actually sit down and take a load off. You cannot sit down and relax. You either got to sit on the ground. A chair is an amazing invention. One of the things that they carried on the wagon trains were chairs. There were parts of that wagon that came off and you could turn them into chairs. Why? Because being able to sit down at the end of the day and take a break is an amazing thing. Bushcraft chairs are important. Bushcraft tables are important. Bushcrafting is important. Making spoons, not so much. Carry a damn spoon with you. Making spoons teaches you knife skills. That's it. So make spoons, but don't whittle a spoon every time you want to make a bowl of soup. It's a waste of calories. Just yeah, chairs are a must, man. I hate going camping, and that's the one thing. If I could figure out some way to get a chair lighted, I have one that I used to carry. I ought to go get it and show it to you, but that's way back in. It's 3 aluminum pipe with a this is the weird swivel thing in the middle that locks them out, and then it's got a little triangle. You can buy the little top for them now, and then you just collect sticks and make your chair in the woods or whatever. But even that, just having that little stool that you could fold out and pop up and set down, it was the right height to put your butt on, and just boom, just instantly. Oh, you couldn't lean back, but you could sit down and have a cup of coffee, eat your dinner. If you could find a tree, you could sit up by the tree and you could lean back a little bit. You could take a break, which is really, 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 it's important psychologically. It's important emotionally. It's important physically. I mean, your knees or my knees demand a break. Pat, I got a whole bunch of that, Brad. Dior, stop doing it. I'm gonna start calling out ammo or different calibers. Rachel came in. Hey, Rachel. Hey, Lance's mama. Hey, Lance. Where's your mama been? She hasn't been in here. She's been playing hooky. I knew that, but I can still get Lance riled up. It's my job. Uncle Wes is just doing his job. I can't give him chocolate. I'm not close enough. It's just like the best chair ever. Or stool or whatever you call it. The little thing that goes around it and snaps or Velcros or whatever to hold it into a neat little bundle, that may and may not wear out. And if you get too close to the fire, the Velcro doesn't work anymore. So, yeah, just in case, just so you know. Velcro is made out of a polymer That's heat sensitive. I didn't know if you knew that, but now you do. So, another thing, bushcrafting chairs, very important thing to note. If you're fat, you need bigger sticks. There you go. If Joe Robinette could make a chair out of the size trees he uses, I cannot. I tried to make my first ever bushcraft chair. I weighed, well, not the first one, but the last one I tried to make. It was, how can I put this? It was having a little bit of trouble with the workload. Yeah. 200 pounds is a little bit more than 145 pounds. 55 pounds to be exact. Just for the record. And 55 pounds is a lot on a stick. It doesn't actually break, but it's kind of squishy. So it depends on the wood, too. All right, try and be good. Boy, don't need any more candy. So it's a very mom-like thing to say. How about desserts? Has he had any cobbler lately? How about blackberry dumpling? Who in this room has ever had a blackberry dumpling? You hush. I said dumpling, so I figured she was going to say something derogatory. Bugging out for the obese. Blackberry dumplings are like the best thing ever. I've had that since I was a kid. My mom would come in with those blackberries. Yeah, I know exactly what she was going to do. I just I'd sit there for the whole thing. And she'd make it so tart. You had to put, she'd have the sweetened condensed milk. And after you got your dumplings, she'd open the can of milk out there. She'd put it in the refrigerator, and it'd be nice and cool. And we'd all try it first. We'd take our first bite without the cream. And you talk about lockjaw sour, not sour, but tart. Because she put sugar in it. Boy, it was rough. And then Mom would laugh. And then we'd all get the condensed milk and put 3 or 4 little swirls on our bowl of dumplings. And then we'd stir it up and we eat it. And it's so good. My mouth is watering. Do not deny your children their grandparents. The end. No child should grow up not knowing what blackberry dumplings taste like. You got, that's right. Man, we needed like extra ground clearance, and you'll put a rescue winch on them. It may be like a solar trickle charger on the canopy, because you're going to be outside on them, so you'd really need the shade or whatever. We could put a little holder on the side for either a rifle or one of those little alligator grabby things for picking up your firewood so you can go back to camp. thank you for every one of those visuals, Walter. And that would actually probably be somebody would buy that. Hell, I'd buy it. I've never had blackberry wine. Um, Camping for tripod, portable, compact, outdoor. Anyways, you can actually make one of those stools if you really want to go all bushcrafty or whatever. You can make one yourself on site. It takes a lot of string, but if you got plenty of tarred bank line or whatever, you can do it. You'd be surprised what you can get away with. Yeah. The only flashlight I took with me on this trip was my railback. I don't know where railback's made. My little 2 AA. I mean, used it all week on one set of batteries. So I make wine myself. I just don't have. I'm not gonna. When I got blackberries, I'm making dumplings. Yeah, but the whole thing, my idea of bushcrafting is, you make it out of what you got or what's there. Hiking it in, and you're seriously, there is zero weight available in your bug out kit for a chair. I don't care how super lightweight it is. Now, if you're going on a 4-hour hike up a mountain to a place where you're going to spend a week, carry the chair, because you've got all week to rest up. But just remember, you're going to be there a week and you need to carry food. Yeah, I had a mag light, but I forgot to put the batteries in it, Walter, so I took my rail back. Oh yeah, man, you gotta be careful on the vinegar comes if you get the wrong bacteria in there. So yeah. Um, Stop, Dior. What do you do? Win the lottery? Which I didn't. I got one number. I got the Powerball or the Mega Ball. So I made 2 of my $4 back. I play the Mega Millions or whatever. So but I don't. Y'all bear with me just 1 second, please. I was just making sure it wasn't bad. It was good news. So it's all good. What? What is Aaron always puts? Wash hands, wash hands, wash hands, wash hands.
That's classic.
Oh, I don't know over here. I don't have the YouTube thing open because it lags me out too bad. So you know what? It's probably clap hands, clap hands, clap hands. I don't know. Okay, who has ever heard of shit. It's a 20, it's a 308 cartridge, neck down to a 25 caliber. What is that? Besides sexy. I mean, I bet it kicks just as much as a 243. It's not a 243. It's a little bitty short 308 cartridge with its neck down to a 25. Can't remember what the caliber was on it. I found a piece of brass and I'm like, what the hell is this? I mean, it's cool. I'm like, but I mean, that thing would have to, it would have to, it's not a 25-06. That's what I thought it was at first. I've shot and I know what a 25-06 looks like. It's just a neck down further than a 270 is. It's a flat flying bullet too. I got a lot of respect for it, but this one I've never seen it. Maybe, man. I don't, like I say, I don't know. It's a cute little caliber to look like though. I want a machine shop. I miss having it. I did find a one of my garage sale finds. One of the toolboxes I bought at a garage at one time had a box of 220 Swift in it. That looked like a mean little bullet, but I didn't have the rifle for it. You'd be surprised, man. You got to get early. Them estate sales. You got to go early. You got to buy the junk the old man has in the garage. You want the good stuff. It's not the 300 blackout. It's not that. I do want, what is it? The original Mini 14 had the 30 caliber. It was a little 30 caliber bullet. I think one of those would be cool. Yeah, but I don't know. I can't make up my mind if the SIG's worth all that trouble. It's lit. It's, why not just go with the regular 357? I mean, I know you can't get in a semi-auto, but why not just, if you're going to do a 357 caliber cartridge for a semi-automatic pistol, why not just, change the, whatever it's called, the back of the cartridge. Why not just change the primer end to where it's designed for semi-auto? And I may be calling the gun wrong or whatever, but I know that you could get them as a 30 caliber bullet about yay long, just a straight 30 caliber. Mini 30s. Maybe it was a mini 30. I don't know. It was, I'm not a gun guy, not a gun channel. I like to shoot. That's it. I've got better things to do with my time and my money than try to know every caliber, every gun. I'm actually that guy that believes it's okay to sell a gun if you're not using it and not replace it. I'm actually that guy. When a firearm becomes a paperweight, get rid of it. The end. Yeah, 22-250 is. Okay, then that would be it. I've actually got 2 guns that I'm going to get rid of, and I may get rid of 3. I'm not 100% sure yet. Probably not. I think I'll probably keep the Beretta, but I've got to get me a small frame carry gun. Just can't make up my mind what. So here goes, FYI, here goes my monetization. So we've blown that completely out of the water. YouTube will take most of the. Well, no, I don't think they do that. No, this is safe because it's here, but I'll have to argue with them over whether or not I can run ads on the video after it's over with. Nobody ever goes back and watches the live streams after anyway. So 17 HMR, if you have a good one, a very important word. If you have a good 17 HMR rifle, they're really, really good for small animal hunting. Rabbits, squirrels, foxes, ground squirrels. That's it. My problem is coming up with a rifle that is designed where, and I think a bull barrel on a 17 HMR is a mistake. I think it literally creates more vibration at the end of the barrel than a small one. Just a normal conical barrel, tapered barrel. It's, why put all that extra weight on there? You don't feel the vibration. The bullet feels the vibration. So why not have the vibration dissipate at the beginning of the barrel? And I don't know. I know bull barrel is supposed to whatever, but I've shot a 17 that wasn't a bull barrel, and I've shot 17s that were bull barrels, and I can't hit crap with the bull barrel. Well, not consistently. The best pattern I could do, my spread was probably 7 or 8 inches at 50 yards. At 50 yards with the bull barrel, but the other one, same manufacturer, different rifle, but same manufacturer, was I was getting a 2 inch spread, and that was all me. We clamped the rifles down, and it improved, but still, there's just so much vibration. Now, if you go and do all this high dollar trigger and this, that, and everything else, it's better. But I just don't. I don't know. The what's the 17 with the centerfire? What's the 17 centerfire cartridge? Which one is that? What's it called? Um, Winchester or something. Yeah, that one's pretty cool. I like that one. Yeah, 22 Magnum. If you're trying to decide which one, 22 Magnum or 17, 22 Magnum all the way. Same thing, same animal. Just I think they shoot better. 17 HMR is a rimfire cartridge. The 17 centerfire is something else. I forget what it's called. Because I got 17 HMR and it's rimfire. They make a 17 in centerfire. It's I forget what caliber it is that they neck down to a 17. But like I said, I mean, there's so many different calibers out there. There are people out there that know every caliber under the sun, but there are also people out there that know every baseball statistic there is. And I like baseball, but you know, I like guns, but yeah, no. And that may be what they neck down, man. I don't know. Um, that would make sense, though. I like the 22 Hornet. 20 Hornet's a pretty good bombing rifle. I think 222 is a really good. Um, if you are an excellent shot and you have a lot of range time with your rifle and you know that you can make the next shot, 222 is just fine for shooting deer. I don't know that I would try to do a hard shot on one, but if you know you can make the next shot, it's fine. Back in the day, I would have done it, but I can't see well enough to do that anymore. What un-American? What'd you do to become un-American, Aid? I missed something somewhere. Hold on. Oh, that. Um, I have a 22. Almost started numbering guns. I have one gun. I have a 22. It's a single shot 22. It's just a wall hanger. I didn't even use it for anything. Back to bugging out. If AJIT, if you plan on bugging out with one of them 22 calibers that has the extra decimal on the end. Yeah. Dealers, man, I love your chest rigs and stuff. But damn, man, I'm not planning on getting in no firefight, man. If there's a firefight over there, I can tell you where to find Wes. He's gonna be over there. Because people die in firefights. It's the end. And unless somebody hunts me down to start the firefight, I don't know. And I'm not going to wear that stuff 24/7. So, when I was in my 20s, I might have ran 20s and 30s. I might have ran towards the firefight, but actually, I did more than once. But I'm not doing that now. The whole idea of this live stream was to actually say to people, hey, it's more than okay to get out and spend your weekends hiking and camping. My son tried to keep his Apple Watch counting, but there's no internet out there. We want to know how many steps and miles and everything we put on, but it didn't work. So we had to guesstimate off of the map, and we did well from carrying our full loadouts. We went 3.5 miles. We gained an elevation of 800 feet from base camp to our campsite. We were going uphill and downhill the entire way. So we repeatedly gained elevations of 100 to 200 foot and then gave that up on the way to the thing. It was over very rough terrain, through bushes and trees and ravines, and there was jumping involved, and that was day one. And then we probably put on, exploring the park, we probably put on another 3. So day one of the hike, we did 6.5 miles. And then we didn't sleep. We got 0 sleep that night. We were all sitting around in the morning having our coffee and stuff, trying to figure out how much sleep we got. And we think we might have dozed 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there between gusts and stuff. And between all 3 of us, we may have scored an hour of sleep. And then we loaded up. We cleared the camp. I mean, you can't tell we were ever there. We loaded up and then walked the 3.5 miles back, which is almost as bad. It was almost worse going downhill with that weight pushing you. Because, but there's places to stop to get water, but you have to carry the water for the hike with you. So it's surprising how thirsty you get when you're walking. And then we walked all over camping. We put in a lot of miles. Then the next day we got up and we just with day packs, we carried snacks and water and the camera gear. And we did another, I think it's a 2-mile hike, and we gained an elevation from start to finish of 1,000 foot. And we went off trail several times. We were up on the side of the mountains 3 or 4 times, and we actually cut trail through the underbrush, and we had a blast. But the whole thing is, I mean, we DRs. That's why we do stuff like that. So it'll remind us just exactly how hard it would be to do this. But having done that, we're now more capable of doing that. You have to make time. We planned weeks and days ahead for this. We spent good money to drive 4 hours to literally go live like we were homeless refugees for 4 days. It was a blast. Yeah, the downstairs hurts, man. Going upstairs, it's work. Going downstairs, it's impact. I have no plans of being shot at myself, but there is a pretty good chance if things get really bad, I'll be thankful that yes, true, yours. I'm just, I am going to be, I intend on being more dependent on stealth and fear, fearful stealth to keep me alive at my age. Laying down on a rock somewhere with a ghillie suit is, that's the same way I play Call of Duty games. I can't. So it's a life choice. It's not a character flaw. It's just a life choice. And actually, my favorite pistol is a revolver. Just it's big and heavy. There is. I guess Steve's probably still unpacking. And all that moving stuff, he actually did. He improved his position, I guess is the right way to put that. That little everything goes in the stock rifle. My son had one of those. It's kind of cool. You can't shoot it all the time. They get hot. So they're not super accurate, but sorry, San Diego. Um, well, you know, keep on with it. Getting kicked off to YouTube. Too many shells in that cabinet. I've said it before, but it is empty. It's my favorite. I love this thing. It is a Ruger Security 6. The first handgun my brother ever bought looked exactly like this. I would be ecstatic if I found out this was it, but it's not. I bought this at a gun show. This is a nail driver. It's a full 6-inch barrel. And custom leather holster made by moi. Moi's me. Just, you know. This is it's 357 and there's no recoil. You know, this thing's savvy enough. You know, and when I reload, I'm actually going to heat it up a little bit. Not much, just a little. I'll either heat it up or I may put a couple extra grains on the bullet. These are just target load. Which still don't get shot by it. But that's just what I grew up thinking a sexy gun looked like. I mean, you're 13 years old and 14 years old, and your brother says, "Hey, check this out." I mean, you're just like, wow. I never did like the Blackhawk. I don't know. To me, it was too hard to aim. But if you put an aftermarket grip on it, it gets better. But I don't like the way I don't like the way the cowboy shooters are put together. Anyway, somebody said something about Scott. Anybody in the Texas area, New Mexico area that wants to help scouting? Seriously, man, come on. Scouts of America got a bad ring in the press that they shouldn't have got. And I fully believe that it was part of that destroy the family unit campaign that we all know what I'm talking about. Because the values that they teach in scouting or whatever, that could actually, scouting is designed to keep youngsters out of trouble. It's designed to help them make better life choices. And you can't readily control young people who are making better life choices. So if you can give the place that's trying to help them make better life choices a bad name and get it shut down, you stand a better chance of winning this horrid game they want to play. So people need to unquit the Scouts. All right, dealers, be careful. You better not be driving. Sure hope you're riding. Thank you for your input and your grocery money, gas money, whatever it's going to turn into. And it's not the on the okay. Let me explain something. On the press said they're going to start letting gay scout leaders and this, that, and everything else. They're going to start forcing Boy Scouts to let girls in. Yada yada yada. No. The Boy Scouts made an announcement that they were no longer going to fight the legal battles of individual scout troops. If you wanted a scout troop, whoever, it was up to the scout troop who they let in and who they didn't. It was up to the scout troop whether or not this person could do this person could do that. They were no longer going to fight those battles. They weren't going to do it. Because they were spending millions of dollars defending stuff that it wasn't their job to defend. It wasn't, they didn't make that decision. They didn't say, no, you can't be part of Scouts, sir, because of whatever. They said, no, you can't let your daughter go to Scouts, sir, because of whatever. That was the individual troop. Scouting is co-ed. Scout troops are not. Okay, if there's girls in the scout troop, there has to be women there with them. They're all segregated. Been involved with the Scouts for a few years now, and I haven't run into a blatant anybody yet. Well, okay, well, maybe two, but that was on the female side of the spectrum anyway. So yeah, I mean, Scouts are good, and if you're worried about the kind of people that are teaching the Scouts, and then volunteer. You can. It's like $30 or $40 a year, and you get one of these. I should hang this up, but I haven't yet. You don't even. It's a green shirt. Was never in Scouts as a kid. Yeah, I'm a executive staff. Got the little silver thingies and all that. I'm proud of that shirt. Didn't do anything to earn it but volunteer and step up and say, I'm going to make a difference in young people's lives. That's all it took to get that shirt. Well, that and $45. It's the right to wear it that matters. There's scouts all over the country and in Canada. I think they have some in Australia. They even have scouts in Europe. Just for the record. Two of my favorite scouts from the winter camp of 19 were the young ladies. Yes, sir, no, sir. Be right there, sir. They were never late. They always paid attention. The one girl flat out welded everybody else. The guy that paid the most attention in another class, not sure where he stood on who and what he was. The only kids that drove me nuts were your rubber stamp straight American kids. They were annoying, flat, just outright, annoying. The kids that were appreciative of the opportunities available to them in Scouts were great. And the more people that bring their kids in there for the opportunities available, I mean, and they work you when the kids come to the camps and stuff. They don't just cut them loose and let them run through the trees going all Lord of the Flies and stuff. There's something planned for them. They're in a environment where they've got something to do the entire time. They're taught the value of hard work, respect, and cooperation. It's good. They're taught to leave personal politics behind and get on with the program and make it work. One of the individuals involved in scouting that I work closely with, he is polar opposite on a lot of politics from me. But when we're doing the scout thing, we just do the scout thing. And then we throw rocks at each other in the evening, which is still fun. But, it's American. It's just about as American as you can get. And we can let it go, or we can keep it alive. It takes dollars to keep something like this going. It's a huge organization. And if everybody pulls all their support and nobody wants to volunteer, nobody wants to let their kids be part of it and stuff like that, it's going to kill it. And then there's going to be nothing. Internet cafes and coffee shops and unsupervised chat rooms on the Xbox and PlayStation 2s and 3s and 4s and all that stuff. Any you gamers in here know exactly what I'm talking about. Those people get in the chats on the headphones and stuff. Their behavior is not supervised and their behavior is not appropriate. Little squeakers are annoying. It did. It's the American way. We steal good ideas and we make them our own. Exactly, and that's they attacked it and people bought into it. Before I decided to volunteer, I did a lot of research into what went on, and then I went and I talked to the people in charge and said, "Okay, tell me the rest of the story." And I got their side of the story, and they were able to back it up with documentation. I'm like, "Oh wow, I was lied to by the MSM." Go figure. There you go, T-Boy. You need to do your own deal. And that's the thing. I know a lot of the guys that really need to be the scout leaders, have jobs and stuff. I don't. I need to get hold of the guy here. I need to get hold of, dadgummit, I have his name. He's got a really cool name. Where's my phone at? He got a super cool name. The scout leader here, cool name. I think it's Strange. Like Doctor Strange. I just thought it was cool. Well, you have to do the things that people want to teach in Boy Scouts. People jump on those, like at the camps and stuff, like bumping the guy out that teaches shooting. Yeah, that's not going to happen. He's been in Scouts since he was a kid. He's an old man now. That's his job. You're not taking that away, and that's fair. But I think there could be some leeway and stuff like that. But seriously, if you're going to be Scouts, you have to leave your politics at home. Any of your beliefs and whatever that coincide with the Boy Scout creed are welcome, but it cannot be politicized. I am still a little upset with the new badge, but you can make concessions in wartime, or you can get a nuclear bomb dropped on you. It's your choice nowadays. So, doesn't do you any good to fight to the last man. I mean, you're not going to win a war by by killing your entire army. It just doesn't work that way. It doesn't. Everybody just gives in and caves and blah 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 blah. That's some of the best troop leaders we have here are ex-Marines, ex-Air Force. Do not hate me. Let me just leave it at ex-military. That way, all you Marines don't start screaming Air Force and Navy aren't really military, and Army is just a bunch of freight haulers and yada yada yada. I want to hear all that stuff. What were they? Clerks? There's clerks and cooks of the Marines. The only Marine that I know here locally on a personal level was a cook. He's like, I was a Marine. I was, dude, you were a hashlinger in the Marines. Shut up. Prior military. There you go, Rachel. I'm sorry. I got the terminology wrong. I am not prior military. So I will excuse myself for the misuse of the term. Hey, Lance, kiss your mama. Give her a big kiss. And then give her a wet willy. Yes. Even the puddle jumpers. Service is service. I wouldn't want to be a Coast Guard man. Their job sucks. I think they probably get shot at just as much as everybody else. I don't know. No, no. Some of the horses don't think a vet's a vet. Different kind of vet. Yeah. And kudos to this guy because he was there. He camped in the same windstorm that I did. Kudos to this guy for being there. He didn't know what fatwood was. But he was there. So, I'm sure that's what he said, Rachel. And Lance, give Daddy hugs and kisses too, and go and give him a wet willy too. Is that better, Rachel? Nothing like causing mayhem from across the globe. It's what I live for. I love the people in Scouts. It's just like anywhere else. It's people, and you have things you got to just learn to just let roll off of you. But they let it roll off. You let it roll off, and everything's going to be okay. I mean, you can, if there's a shit storm coming, you can open your mouth and scream at it and swing your arms and bat at it all you want to. All you're going to do is get a bunch in your mouth, and you're just going to splatter it all over the place. Best thing to do is close your eyes, keep your mouth shut, and dip, and just let it go on by. And then you don't get as much on you. It doesn't get in your mouth, it doesn't get in your eyes. Then when it's over with, you come out the other side, you wash it off, and you keep going. Don't be a part of it. Don't make it worse. It's the people that want to make it worse. It's get your feelings hurt, and you want to get all in there, and you want to make it worse. And if you're not going to do something, quit telling people that something should be done. That's the YouTubers out there that keep screaming, something's got to change, something's got to be done. Well then, do something. I love you back, Rachel. Be good, Lance. Enjoy it. Have lots of cake. You're allowed 2 pieces. And Jello. And a soda. Or 2. Unless you want Kool-Aid. Then you can have Kool-Aid. Later, Wheel. Is Wheel leaving? Or is he willing? Yeah, it's my bedtime here, too. It's like, what is it? 10:30. I should probably get off here. I think I have a fever. Either have a fever or my hand's cold. Got stung by a bee that wasn't a bumblebee out there, too. Not a bumblebee, honeybee. It wasn't a honeybee. I'm not going to be it was. Bastard. I was really proud that it didn't affect me. I was scared to death. It was gonna allergy me up, but it didn't get me. I mean, my arms swelled up real good. My fingers went numb. It didn't try to kill me. So It's always a positive thing. Anyway, think about it. Consider, and if you don't have time, think about money. I don't know why I decided to like make this all about scouts or whatever, but it's they had to suffer through the same deal everybody else did last year. And, you know, nobody's working, nobody's donating, nobody's working, nobody's going, you know, to camp. BTSR had to get rid of most of their horses because they couldn't afford to feed them. They've still got enough for the program, but they don't have enough to rotate. And if when the program gets bigger, they're going to need them back. And blah, 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 blah. So, oh, yeah, no, that's not cool, man. A friend of mine, he was bush hogging and he hit a bumblebee nest, and they swarmed his tractor. And then when he tried to jump, this is horrible. He shut the tractor down, but then when he went to jump off, his bootlace caught on the clutch pedal, and he tripped and fell, and it broke his leg. So he's laying there with his foot hung on the clutch pedal, a broken leg, and bumblebee stinging the crap out of him. 27 stings, 27 stings, a broken leg, and yeah, he was in the hospital a while. So yeah, funny too. Night, Billy. Yeah, things can get scary, and like I said, I'm going to. I'll know more about what I need for the program I'm involved with after this weekend. And I may panhandle y'all a little bit. I think one thing I'm pretty sure we're going to be short on is handles for the tomahawks, replacement handles, because they're throwing tomahawks so they get broke. And, but we'll see. I don't know that for sure. So no biggie if you can't. No pressure. But anyways. Ooh, got lucky. Well, I think if he hadn't killed so many of them with the shredder or whatever, things would have gone a lot worse for him. And, you know, but the few that did find him, they let him know he had messed up. So, glad you made it, man, and it didn't kill you. So, I am going to go ahead and sign off here, though. I carry Benadryl with me everywhere I go. That's what scared me about the bee sting is the one time I didn't, I thought I'd left it at the truck, and then I got to the truck, I realized I had it in my day pack. And by the time I got to the truck, 30 minutes had passed, and I wasn't having issues. So I waited, and then other than the swelling and the numbness, I was fine. I personally think if you can suffer through something without giving into it, then maybe you can build up an immunity to it. I could be wrong, but it's working so far. I love you people. Do something nice for each other, for somebody else. Say hi. Be ready. That's actually part of the motto is to be prepared. And that means a whole lot more than having your pencils and your paper and your ruler when you show up for class. So get ready. The world, she's a changing. And we don't necessarily have to change with it, but we need to be ready to survive through it until it levels out. I don't think it's the end yet, but things are going to change. Be ready. Be nice. Love one another. Get right with God. Plain and simple. Okay. God bless y'all. Y'all still alive. Did not die. I will see y'all next week sometime. Not planning on going anywhere until Thursday. Maybe Friday. Okay. Y'all behave.